Hello, everybody. This is Eduardo Fiallas, Coordinator of Client Education with VolleyStation, and I'm here to talk about Boot Camp Zero. This is using VolleyStation when you have zero coders to help you. This is part 2 in our series, and today what I want to spend time talking about is matches in particular, the match screen and different variations in there. First thing we're going to talk about is how do we import matches and import video to accompany those matches that's going to allow us to either scout other teams or watch our own team. Second thing we're going to talk about is how do we then search through the code and navigate and search the video so that we can be watching what's happening within these matches that we download. Third thing I want to talk about is editing code. I want to talk about how do we fix the things that maybe are mistakes in the code that we download, either from VolleyMetrics or the code that we're getting from other sources. Included in this is editing 6.2s. If the changes and setters are not the way you'd like them to be, we're going to talk about how you can change that so you can get a consistent flow inside of your own scouting. Fourth thing we're going to talk about is the video analysis part of the application, specifically how we can create analyses, save those, and export them. So hold on, here we go. All right, so once we open up VolleyStation and we're on the home page again, first thing that we want to do to get into matches is we need to import some matches. So I'm going to click here on the matches area, and I'm going to make sure that I'm in the season that I've created to either do some scouting or evaluate my own team, etc. There's a drop down here where I can choose the season that I created specifically for those purposes. In this case, I'm going to continue to use the Boot Camp Zero season that I created in part 1 of this series. You can see that there's already some matches in here, but I'm going to show you real quick how we can import matches in. I'm going to click on this Import Matches button, and then I'm going to click here to select the files of the matches that I want to import. And I'm going to go find these. I've likely downloaded them like from VolleyMetrics, something like that. These are the examples that I have from that. And so I'm just going to import a couple more matches to join the 4 that I already have in there. So you'll notice I can select multiple files. When I'm importing matches, I don't have to do them one at a time. I'm importing these that are DVWs, which is what you would end up exporting out of VolleyMetrics, but there are also it's also possible for you to get VSM files that someone sent you that were created in VolleyStation. They're going to appear exactly the same way once you import them into VolleyStation. So it doesn't matter if you're getting a DVW file or a VSM file to import into your copy of VolleyStation. So here we go. I'm going to import those two. We're going to see the progress bar go by, and then it's going to say importing finished over here. The count here is 2 out of 2 matches that I wanted to upload. I'm going to click close, and then you can see it's added in those 2 additional matches down here. Now the next thing that I might need to do, you'll notice that these already have video associated with them. If I was to download a match that did not have video associated with it, there would be another red icon over here, little camera, video camera icon you can click on to add video, or I can open up the match itself, and if I click where that video is, I can click this file button here, add file, and it's going to open up a picker here so that I can choose the video that I want to associate with that match. In this case, this is Austin playing Omaha, so that match is right here. So I'm going to double click on that and add it in. Now, I want to go back to this Houston versus Omaha match here, and this is the match that I want to spend some time looking through for this particular session. So now, if I open this up and I'm just curious, like if I'm trying to scout a team, maybe I'm wondering if the people that are playing in this match are the ones that generally play, the people that I'm looking for, etc. And I could figure that out by looking at all of this, or if I go back and close this match out, if I hover my my cursor over this, I get some options over here. If I click this generate report icon here, what I'm going to get is a match report. It's going to look a lot like an NCAA box score, but it's going to be it's going to have some different content in it than maybe what you're used to, and that's okay. Why I want to do this is that this gives me a great overview, just like looking at a regular NCAA box score. This is an opportunity for me to scan through what's happening in this match to see if the players that I'm interested in or the players that I expect to play are in this match or not. And so this can save me some time of having to start clicking through the match, searching for different players, and realizing that they're not playing, realizing that they're playing maybe some different lineups than what it is I want to scout. In this case, it looks like pretty much the usual people are playing. Maybe there's some exceptions to that, but I'm going to assume based on this, all these squares here showing that these people started, having the opportunity to see how many points they scored for passers, how many receptions they had, how many attacks they had. Again, this can give you a pretty good feel for what happened for a particular team in that match to help you decide if you want to scout this match or not. In this case, I'm going to decide that yes, this is a match that I want to scout. So I'm going to click the matches button again, and then I'm going to click on that match. It's going to bring me back into this match so that I can get busy actually doing some scouting. Now, if what you want to do is watch video, I recommend that you come down here and change the screen layout from Scout to Show. When you do that, now the video takes a little bit more center stage. It's a lot easier to see the large video, but you still have access to all the code over here on the left, including directions for everything, lineups for both teams. Now, in order to make this a little bit more useful, though, I am going to have to condense this down a little bit once I start clicking into the search and I get myself some search terms. So let's take a look at what that might look like. One of the things that you might want to do when you're just starting out scouting is maybe you just want to see all the rallies. And if you want to see all the rallies, the way to probably do that best is to search for all the serves. Now you'll notice here that when I click into the search, yours might look a little bit different. And the reason for that is I've already clicked out of the advanced into the more basic search that allows you to select options that are a little bit more straightforward, a little bit better explained. If I have the advanced here, then I'm going to have to enter code specifically to go search for the things that I can find. If you're not comfortable doing that, then make sure that you uncheck that box. Get yourself into the basic view that's going to allow you to click on cards to select your search terms. So like I said, one of the best ways, I think, to watch just a match in chronological order while skipping over all the junk in between the rallies is just to click here in the SK, which stands for skill, click on serve, and confirm that selection. And I now have a list of all the serves in this match. And now I'm going to highlight one of those serves, and it's going to show me what's happening over here. You'll notice that the video hasn't moved yet. But this line of code over here has been highlighted, and I have this play option right here. If I click play, you'll see the video moves a little bit. And so now it's queued up, and I can start using my keyboard shortcuts in order to play and pause video, move forward 2 seconds, back 2 seconds, etc. Now, I'm doing that straight from my keyboard. A reminder of where you can find those settings and how you can make sure that you understand which settings that you're working with. I talked about this in the previous session. If we go to the home page here, again, that's always accessible anytime in the app by clicking this VS icon that's up here. If I scroll down in here, I'm going to have some reminders about navigation. And so shortcuts for the match scouting screen, because I'm in the match scouting or watching. And so these particular shortcuts, like F, move video to selected play, that's going to be something handy. And then it reminds you here that you can set up keyboard shortcuts for this particular view how, and this is going to help you move around in the video. And so it says that these are in the settings. These are in your global settings, which is this icon down here. Again, always available down at the bottom left, every single screen you're in, except when you have a match open. Then that's going to open something different. Okay, so if I go look at those settings, here are those keyboard shortcuts. And this is a place where I can edit those. So if I wanted to change my controls for moving the video forward 2 seconds, moving the video back 2 seconds, I just click in this area here, and it's going to give me the opportunity to set the key. I just type the key in. In this case, I'm using minus for that. Click save, and that's done. Reminder here, if I change any of these shortcuts, I will have to quit out of the application and reopen it in order for those changes to take effect. Otherwise, what you're going to end up doing is thinking that those changes are working. You're going to go back to the match view. You're going to try pressing that key, and it's not going to work. Reminder here, if you change any of these, if you want them to take effect, you need to quit the application and open it back up again. So, going back here to the video, another thing that I want to remind you of is some of the keyboard shortcuts that are available to us. So, if I want to skip from one play to the next, notice here, this first serve is currently highlighted. If I use my my keyboard shortcuts to move to the next play in the list of search on the list of plays that are in the search results, I'm gonna use Shift and down arrow, Shift and down arrow, and these are built into the application. You can't change these, but you can always remind yourself of what they are. Okay, if I scroll down a little bit more, shortcuts for playlist, all the way down here at the bottom, Shift and arrows up and down moves between searched plays if you use the search tool. And so that's what I've done, right? Search results here. So Shift and up arrow is going to move between those plays. Shift and down arrow is going to move downwards through those plays. Now, what if I don't want to do that? What if I want to move up and down line by line in the codes list over here? That's just using the up and down arrows by themselves. If I go like this, you can see I'm slowly scrolling through all of the plays, every single line. Same thing, go up, scrolling through every line. You'll notice right now that set 1 is highlighted. If I use my left and right arrows, I can move between sets, and then same thing. Down arrow moves me every single line. Shift and down, shift and up, move me through the search results. So those are really handy things to remember so that you're not having to click every single play, scroll, etc. Click on all of these things. I really recommend getting used to those keyboard shortcuts to be able to watch some video. Okay, so I showed you how to get those search results, and I said this is a great way to be watching video. So if I want to watch the whole match, I'm going to go back to set 1. I'm going to type the F key so I can get back to this highlighted play right here. F, and now I'm lined up on that one, and I can use my keyboard shortcut to start. I can watch this play, see what happens. Then I can shift down arrow, move to the next one. Okay, I've seen enough of that one. Shift down arrow. And all of these plays are just going to keep scrolling right by, give me a chance to see what I want. Right? Now, let's say that I've watched everything one serve at a time, or that's really not my style. That's not the way I want to watch things. Maybe I prefer to do this by rotation instead. So let's say that I want to watch serve reception rotations. I want to watch first ball offense for Omaha. So what I'm going to do here is with the team, I'm going to select Omaha, and I'm going to change this from services to receptions. And then I'm going to select, they're the away team, so I'm going to select their rotation 1, their setter in zone 1, and I'm going to confirm that. And now what I end up with here in the video is Omaha receiving in rotation 1. Again, I can just shift down arrow, see still in rotation 1, still in rotation 1. I can play, see what they're running, down, shift down arrow, see the next play. Nope, nope. There's them in system. Watch that play happen. Shift down arrow, next play. They're in system again. Shift down arrow onto the next play. So I can move very quickly and efficiently through all of these plays. And then once I'm done with that, once I'm done with rotation 1, I can click search, and then my current search reappears here in the search area. And so now I can just move on to rotation 2. Now, you'll notice that when I click rotation 2, which is setter in zone 6, that setter in zone 1 or rotation 1 also stays selected. If I want to watch one rotation at a time, I need to unselect rotation 1 so that now I'm just seeing rotation 2. And fair warning here, if I select both of these, it's going to show them in chronological order. It's not going to group them by rotation. Now, I can show you a way to be able to save each of these separately, but that's going to come at the end of the video when we're talking about video analysis. For right now, let's just go ahead and look at Omaha receiving in rotation 2, setter in zone 6. I'm going to come here, highlight that video, type F so it queues up to that first spot. Let the video play. Let's see what happens. Oh, they're not in system. On to the next play. There's an in-system look. What are they running? I can stop, maybe make some notes, start again, move on to the next play. Out of system, move on to the next play. In system, setting the quick, make some notes, etc. And then I can continue to do that, just changing rotation by rotation. Now, let's say again, maybe you're done with that, or maybe that's not your style. Maybe that's not the thing you wanted to look at. Maybe you're more interested in watching, let's say, one of their middles attack. So I'm going to keep Omaha selected. I'm going to go here to the players, and I'm going to pick Emily Thader, one of their middles. And I now need to change it from reception because she's not receiving anything. So I'm going to change this to attacks. And I'm going to take out the search by rotation. I'm going to make sure that those are clear. And then I'm going to confirm this. And now I get to see all of Emily Thader's swings. Again, I'm going to highlight that first code, type F, get this video playing. There she is hitting a gap. Next play, hitting a slide, kind of a busted play, hitting a push, on to the next play, hitting a push, hitting a push. Okay, so here's a quick and easy way for me to be able to go through all the players that I want to see. And again, if I just click search, I can come back here. I can pick a different player in this list. Who else might I want to see hitting all the balls? Let's take Sammy Francis instead. She's definitely getting set more than Thader is. So again, this is an opportunity for me to be able to see this. You may have noticed that some of these might end up looking like they're a little bit rushed. If I want to move back just a little bit, remember what my 2 seconds back key is. If I don't remember what that 2 seconds back key is, I can click this icon down here in the video window to move me back. But again, I think it's really a lot easier to use your keyboard, so get used to those shortcuts. And so then I can play the video. Now I'm going to see her go from a little bit further back. Oops, that one wasn't far enough back, so I'm going to pause it, go back 2 seconds, play it again. Where's she moving and what's she doing? Things like that. So if I want to get more advanced searches going than this, I want to maybe look at all of Sammy Francis's first ball swings rather than just all of her swings. How do I do that? That's going to come up later in the video when we get into video analysis. The video analysis tool is where you're going to want to go if you're going to want to create some more complex searches. This is just for really simple stuff. This is the place I like to go if I'm going to watch all of the swings, all of the serves, things like that. One quick way to get there is to just click on the Show on Video button, and that's going to take you immediately to the video analysis, and it's going to keep your current search terms. But again, I'm going to dig more into that in a little bit. While we're here, what I want to do is show you how to start editing some code. Let's say while you're going through all of these swings, you notice that one of these swings, maybe it's not actually Sammy Francis. If that's the case, if I select that and I hit enter, you'll notice that over here in the code window, I have the ability to edit that code. And so it's really simple to do it this way. I can just move where that cursor is and change it. Maybe instead of 18, maybe it was Emily Thader, it was 02. So I can just enter that, hit enter, and now that attack belongs to Emily Thader. Instead, you'll notice that that code turned red. Oops, because she's in the back row. Never mind, don't worry about that. But let's just say that that's what we wanted to do. Another option for doing that is to mouse over that line of code over here, the three dots, your options. Click that, and you can edit that play, and you can come right here, and let's put this back where it belongs as Sammy Francis. I can click it that way, click confirm, and that goes back the way it's supposed to go. Okay, so this is one thing that you can do is start looking through all of the plays, like in this list, and we can just go through things pretty quickly and just see, like, is Sammy Francis attacking all these balls? Yep, that's her. Yep, that's her. That's her. Oh, let's pretend for a second that wasn't her. Okay, I can stop, hit enter, edit that code again. It's a really easy way for you to be able to fix things on the fly while you're watching video. Same thing, you can do that with receptions if you're watching serve-receive plays, things like that. Then if you're searching for receptions, it would be the same thing. You're going to just pause the video, hit enter to edit, or come over here, get into your options, edit the play, and that's going to give you some easy ways to edit some things. Now, let's talk about editing setters. If you're in a position where you want to change the way volumetrics is coded to 6.2, it's going to get a little bit complicated. There isn't a really clean and easy way to do that, but there is a way to do that that is about as simple as we're going to be able to make it. So what I've got queued up here is I have a video that I know contains a team that's running a 6.2. In this case, this is University of Washington in 2024. They were running a 6.2. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to search, and I'm going to search for something very specific. I'm going to search for serves, and I'm going to search for serves when Washington, who is the away team in this match, is in rotation 1 or rotation 4. Okay, now in theory, they should be rotating into this. So I could even say that I wanted to pick the away team serve to filter down even further. Okay, every once in a while, there's going to be teams that maybe don't quite do like a traditional 6.2. Maybe they wait and have the right side serve and then sub a setter in afterwards. If that's the case, then you probably don't want to select the same team serving in this. But if I pick that team serving, and when that team is in row 1 and row 4, and confirm that, now what I'm going to get a chance to do is I'm going to get a chance to look at all the serves, and now I don't even have to let the video play. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to skip from play to play, and so what I see here now is when I get to this second serve, immediately above it there are substitutions. There's 2 substitutions. That's always a pretty good sign that a team's in a 6.2 when there's a double sub happening. And in this case, I already know that the 2 setters that Washington is using are number 6 and number 8. So this is a place where a double sub for a 6.2 is happening. I know that based on my prior knowledge of the team. So let's say that I want to flip which setter is which. To do that now, I'm going to highlight the score that is in between the substitutions and the serve that I searched for. And I'm going to go to these options right here, and I'm going to edit the lineup. When I edit the lineup for Washington over here, it's going to say that the server, or in this case, sorry, the zone 1 player is the setter. I'm going to change this to zone 4, number 4, who's the player that was subbing in for 8, who's the other setter. So if I wanted to switch my designation of who their first setter was, who their second setter was, this is the way that I would want to do that. And so I'm going to make the opposite the setter instead by clicking zone 4. And so you'll see that the little S icon now goes to this opposite Imani Bush instead of being on the player that is setting on the floor, Molly Wilson. And now I'm going to click this apply lineup correction for next points. What that's going to do now is that's going to make Bush the setter for every point from this point forward while keeping those substitutions intact. So when I click done, you'll see all of these players get switched around, and now the setter shows up as number 4. And so now what I'm going to do is I can shift down arrow and I can start skipping through plays again and looking for those substitutions. There's another substitution. So now I'm going to go options on the score line of the code, click edit lineup, switch to Washington, and now you'll see that Alexis Hari is now the designated setter. So that is who I want the setter to be. So I'm going to leave that one. Click done, shift down to move on to the next serve. And there's another instance of a double sub happening. So again, I'm gonna find the point line of code, click options, edit lineup, switch to the team that I'm interested in, and let's say I wanted to switch it back. I would again go down here to the setter zone, change it from 4 to 1. Now it's back to Molly Wilson. I would check the apply lineup correction for next points, click done, everything gets sorted back out. So now Molly Wilson shows up as my setter over here, the little S next to her name. So that's how I can adjust those setters. Again, the search term to do that is going to be the team that is running the 6-2. Select them. Select serves. Pick zone 1 and zone 4. Confirm. And that's going to get you the searches a list of serves that meet that search criteria, and then it's just skipping through them, looking for those double subs, editing those score lines. That's how we're going to handle that. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about in this video is video analysis. So when we start talking about video analysis, when we're on the matches page or on the home page, anything like that, there's this video analysis button here. I click on that. It's going to take me back. I can change the filter here. In this case, I'm going to be watching the match that I was watching initially, Houston versus Omaha. That's what I currently have set up in this filter, but I can change that by clicking here and then selecting different options by clicking any one of these boxes. I'm going to close that, and you'll notice there's no video showing. There's no plays here. That's because there's nothing in my search term. Right now, it's set to filter by code. That means that, again, I would have to have some knowledge of how to search for things. Let's say that I wanted to search for away number 10 X5. That is going to be Jordan Larson hitting the go. Hit enter. Uh-oh, not seeing anything. Why is that? Go back, confirm, close. All right. That's okay. We didn't really want to do it that way because apparently I don't know how to code this quite right. So let's do it this way. Let's use classic filters. This way you can keep yourself out of trouble. When you do that, you'll notice that this changes from a text box to a place to select filters. I can select then, let's say that I do want to see all the attacks by Jordan Larson. And I do want to see her hitting X5. So I'm going to pick attack combination. And I'm going to look for X5 in here. Whoops. There it is, X5. Confirm that. And now let's say that I wanted to see just the first ball swings. Click here, first ball, confirm. And now let's say that I wanted to only see the in-system times that she was set. I'll click reception effect, and I'll select pound, which is a perfect pass, and, and plus, which is a good pass, confirm. When I'm done selecting those options, I'm going to click confirm. And now you can see there's 4 plays in my list. Click on one of these, and now the video comes up. See, this is the way you do it. If you're not really sure that you know how to code the things, then go ahead and use the classic filter, select all the options that you want, and then you're going to get this list. Now there's a few things that you can tweak in this list. You can tweak the amount of time that each video clip will last. So we can see 1 second before, but maybe that's not going to be enough. If we're looking at first ball swings, maybe we want to see a little bit more about the pass here, because you can see that the ball has already left the passer's arms here. It's already on its way to the setter. Maybe I want to see a little bit more of this. So I'm going to click here, delete that 2, and I'm going to delete that 1. I'm going to change it to 2 seconds. 5 seconds after is more than enough. I'm going to change that to 4. Okay, so now it looks like the ball is right on the setter's arms. There you go. So that's pretty good. If I want to, I can adjust that even further back. Let that video play. That looks like enough time to see what's happening. Then we move to the next play. And then it'll automatically make sure that I get that same amount of time in each rally. Now, once I have that done, maybe I want to highlight some of these clips. Okay, you can see here that I've got the directions that she's hitting in. Okay, so maybe her hitting towards zone 9 is going to be down the line. Her hitting towards zone 1 is going to be down the line. Let's take a look at those plays real quick and let's confirm that. Yep, down the line, she misses. Here's her again hitting down the line, tip. And here's her again going down the line. Yep, another tip. Okay, so she's only got 1 cross-court swing, so maybe I want to highlight that in some way. I can come over here and check any one of these boxes right here, just so I can keep track of this play. And then these other 2 are tips, so maybe I'm going to mark those using that. And then this is a swing down the line. I'm going to select that way, just so I can keep track of them. And maybe I want to create a montage out of this. And maybe I want to show tips first. Okay, I can just drag these around now that I've marked them and I know exactly which ones are which. And then I want to show that cross-court attack last. So I'm going to drag that one down to the bottom. And now I can click this export button. And it's going to ask, do I want just the play or do I want the full point? That's why we set up those time limits. I'm going to leave it at single plays. No overlay means that there's no score being shown on there. I'm going to choose with overlay. And then do I want all the selected plays or all the plays? In this case, I didn't change any. You can do that right here with these little select boxes. You can turn plays on and off. You can also just select, oh, maybe I only wanted to see those tips. And so I would just select this instead of picking everything. And I can rearrange those time clips if I want to. And this is going to give me a count of everything that I'm going to be looking at. So again, if I did this, maybe that would give me 2 instead of 4. And then I can click generate. It's going to ask me where I want to save it. This is going to take me to the default folder for video that I picked back in when I set up my seasons. Select that, and it's going to start generating that video. Now, I can let that run and go back to a different tab. Let that do its thing. Okay. Sometimes that might take a little while. Sometimes it'll go faster. It just kind of depends on how many clips you're picking, how long each clip is going to be. If you're including the overlay or not, you'll notice right up here it said fast, no overlay. I picked it with the overlay, so it's going to take a little bit longer. But now, boom, there it is. There's that video, and I can see that playing. There's her tipping down the line. And then here's the next play. She's going to tip down the line again. And then we're going to go into the line error, et cetera, that same order that I just picked everything up for. So we're done with that. We can click anywhere else on that screen to close that out. Now, let's say that this is something that I commonly do, is search for particular players, and to see all of their in-system first ball left side swings. I can save that as a report. I do that by clicking this white Save as Report button. And now you can see this has a name report that, or this name for the report that isn't necessarily super helpful for me. In this case, this was away 10, in system go. Right? Now that I've got that, I can close this, and that's gonna end up showing up in my reports. Might need to refresh that. Now, once I have those reports saved, then I'm always going to be able to pull those up again at another point in time. Okay, I'm going to go back to my video analysis, and now I can set up a fresh one, and maybe this time I want to do middles, or a middle in particular. Now, if I pull up that report and I need to change something about it, I can do that. There's a Generate Again button. And that's going to allow me to keep all the same rough start of my query, of my search, but then I can just tweak it instead of starting from scratch like I'm going to do right here. So this time I'm going to pick Attacks by Emily Fader, or actually no, let's go ahead and let's do both middles. So I can pick Fader and Francis, and now I'm going to pick again Reception Effect in System. I'm going to select first ball, and then I'm going to confirm that. I'm going to get that list. And so now this is where, again, I can start dragging stuff around. So maybe I want to group all of Fader's attacks together. So I just start dragging these around until I get all of them grouped together. And then if I want to select different criteria here so I can keep track of them. And so now one other thing that I want to be able to do now is maybe I just want to export a single play. You'll notice that right here, I can just choose Export Clip, and it's going to give me a similar screen to what I had before. I can click Generate, and boom, just like that, it's done. And now I've got just that one clip of Fader hitting a first ball in system attack. Click anywhere else, I can get back to here. One other thing that maybe you want to try is this open match. So let's say that you skipped straight to video analysis and you didn't do any cleaning up, and you notice that, hey, this attack right here, this isn't Fader, this is actually Sammy Francis. I can say open match. It highlights that code, and I can change it. Change it to 18, Sammy Francis. And you'll notice that that'll change, and it changes up here as well. So these are some of the things that you can do in order to do some scouting. You can also see how these things can be applied to your own team. Using a lot of the same tools, you can go search within the match here. You can search using the video analysis here. You can export montages. You can save them as reports. And so all of these things are really great ways for you to be able to start watching video, do some scouting of other teams, do some scouting of your own teams. Now, in the next part of this video series, we're going to start talking about video, not just video reports, but other reports, and more importantly, spreadsheets, and how you can start using spreadsheets so you can start looking at stats. And you can start using those spreadsheets and those stats to also incorporate watching video. So thanks for watching. Again, if you have further questions, don't hesitate to contact me. My contact information will show up right at the end of this video. And I hope to see you again for the third part of this series.